Funny to think lightweight was a weight class designed for guys like Volt. Yeah, the UFC is so unfair to shorter guys because when you think about it, even the flyweights are like 5'8", 5'7", and that is average height in some parts of the world. You know what I mean? It's kind of insane. I'd wonder how an atom weight division would look. GSP would be a lightweight today. I disagree. It'd be a welterweight. GSP's big, man. You've seen him like ever shake hands with Khabib? He's taller than he's listed as, and he's a lot broader and has a lot longer arms than people think. He's massive. He's not a lightweight. He could make lightweight, but he's a welterweight, dude. Said he never reached 190. Yeah, but his frame is just... His frame... But there's no way he never reached 190 when he fought Bisping. He was definitely about 200 pounds when he fought Bisping. GSP's big. Now he's a lot leaner, but what's his reach? I think GSP's, for a white guy, GSP's reach was insane for his height. I think he's got like just shy of my reach. Is it consensus that Islam is better than Khabib? I think he's more well-rounded. He's just not as dominant. I think he would beat Khabib stylistically. I have thought that. Because Khabib really heavily relied on takedowns. And I don't see him ragdolling Makhachev. So I would see Makhachev like catching Khabib coming in also. Honestly. A lot of people talk about the dominance of Khabib, and then I think, he took Edson to a decision. And then he took Michael Johnson to round 3. You know? Wait, so DDP's 5'11" then? No, I angled DDP. If you watched a video of me with DDP, I'm only like 2 and a bit. He is tall. He is a big dude, 6'1". And I had a shoe advantage over him as well. I made sure of that. Is Holloway 5'11"? Yeah, probably. Holloway's tall. Look at him next to Stipe. He is tall. He's probably 5'11" and a half. He's got a big, long head, Holloway, and a long neck. No, DDP is like 6'1.5", I would say 6'1", at least. Definitely just inches out Khabib a little bit. Maybe he's like 5'10 and a half, 5'10 and 3/4. I see GSP as like a less bulky, longer, rangy, what's it called? JDM for welterweight with a smaller head. Khabib 5'9", GSP 5'10", yeah. Khabib's 5'9", yeah. He didn't really edge out McGregor, who I do believe is 5'8". McGregor's 5'8". Maybe McGregor's a short 5'9", but McGregor has this weird magic ability to be taller than anyone he's facing off against. Even the Cerrone fight, McGregor like magically became taller for some reason. I think it's just his aura. I genuinely think he like extends his spine like crazy. That makes Conor 5'8". What does celeb heights have Conor McGregor at? Because when you see him next to like John Jones, who's 6'3", he does have crazy posture. Yeah, DDP's reach is 76 inches. Yeah, and that's pretty long. Conor McGregor, celeb heights. I think celeb heights has him as 5'8". 5'8 and a half they have him at. And this is the guy who just goes around taking pictures with guys and seeing where he stacks up, basically. He's always been listed at 5'9". He's 5'8", though. Pipsqueak of a thing, yeah. Most guys are shorter than they think, though. I used to think I was way taller than I actually was. But I'm only 6'3". And probably in the middle of the day, like if you catch me in the evening and measure me from a doctor, I'd probably be just a tall 6'2". I think I'm like, if I wake up, I'm like just nudging into 6'3", like just under 6'3 1/4" or something, 6'3 1/4". McGregor was magic in his prime, to be fair. Yeah. Pavlovich build. Chat, you can't look at the DDP collab and tell me I'm not big as fuck though, dude. Come on. I'm huge. Kind of funny finding out how many fighters I would tower over. Yeah. Guru's confusing his waist with his height. Yeah. Built like Mini Minter. I'm not built like Mini Minter, dude. Fucking hell. Definitely got a massive height. Yeah. But you don't look that much bigger than DDP if you're not a big guy, but it is what it is. Niche. Is he 6'2"? I'm taller than Fred Van Vliet, yeah. I'm definitely got a size over Adesanya. Pereira would probably mini-mog me, though. Should have played the point. Or God, I'm going to be 30 soon, man. I'm 26, but God. I still feel like a kid sometimes. You know what? You know what felt weird? Because I've been inside for so long, and I was such a fucking retard socially. Cameron Simon felt like such an adult to me, which is crazy because he's bantamweight, and he's like, I think he's like 24. He seemed like he had it all figured out compared to me, even though I maybe that's just the way I see myself. I don't know. I felt like Cameron Simon was like, I was the kid and Cameron Simon was the adult, and he was obviously it's that way because I was visiting his gym. But God, dude, I feel like I've never experienced youth because I just locked in at 18 into my house and started my YouTube channel. You know, I didn't ever have like a crazy partying stage. Well, I did when I was in sixth form, but beyond that, nothing. He seemed very mature. He is very mature, yeah. Whereas to succeed in my area, I kind of have to be immature. You know? I get what you're saying. Yeah, welcome to the world. Yeah, sometimes I think about that. I just never had a youth. It was fun. I had a few years. I had 2 years in sixth form where I like was with the boys, house party. And then as soon after that, I just abandoned everything and went solo mode. You end up like sad McGregor with all the partying. Nah, I won't. I don't like that. I honestly think McGregor wanted to succeed so he could go through the party stage, but that wasn't my electrician and all this plumbing. I wish I would have done something like that. I want my kid to be trained as like an electrician or a plumber, and then we're going to tell him to chase his dream beyond that. I'm just saying, dude, you can chase your dream, but you need to be at least qualified to have a trade. I think trades are going to be huge moving forward. Like an engineer, maybe. You know what I mean? Plus, you get free electrical work done around the house. True. Dude, it's so expensive because even the call-out fee for a lot of electricians and stuff is pretty extortionate. Car guys are pretty smart, Guru. I know, but I don't know. I feel like cars are on the out culturally. In the first world, at least. Whereas I feel like everyone's going to want a house. And I think, yes or no, the up-and-coming generation of house owners aren't going to be as savvy as like Mr. Fix-It, as I'll do my own, I'll change the light bulb. I honestly can see a wave of like Zoomers in houses fucking not knowing how to fix a light bulb. I know how. I know how to do things like that because my dad showed me some things, but I can see a generation of. I'm actually considering starting a gardening business in my 30s with some of my money. I do consider things like that. Not really, but I just think there's going to be a lot of kids of this next generation behind me. I don't garden, no, but I could employ people that do and run it well. Because I think there's going to be a lot of homeowners that are just not going to be doing their gardening. Landscaping, yeah, exactly. They're not going to be doing that type of thing. But they're all going to want a nice garden for their social media. But they ain't getting out there with a fucking lawnmower. You know what I mean? They're just not going to do that. They're going to have all these houses, all of these people that make money in ways that aren't in the labor force. You know what I mean? Social media money, influencer money, YouTube money, all of that. And they're just going to have these gardens that they have to maintain. And they're not going to want to do that. It's not going to be like my dad who's fucking out there mowing the lawn twice a fucking month. So I think there's going to be a big market for that. I shouldn't really be telling you this stuff, but who cares, you know? It's not like a genius idea. Where are you going to get Mexicans? Polish people are Mexicans in the UK. Just come here, they work, they go home for Christmas. A lot of people that have giant houses and few of them know what to do with them. Exactly. Yeah. Very New Zealand kickboxing style, which is funny. I'm curious how well DDP will do against Strickland in a rematch. I think he'll win. I think he'll win quite. I think he'll chin Strickland in a rematch. I don't know about you guys. I just think he's got a different. I can so see Strickland not really being in love with the game anymore. Can you guys see that? Going into it with a bit of a victim mentality about being robbed. Oh, I'm going to get robbed again if it goes to a decision. I see how it is. And then I can just see him getting chinned this time. The heck is Edwards doing? He's fighting in London. Strickland's too stubborn in his style, yeah. Strickland's more motivated than ever. I don't know about that. I don't know about that at all. Strickland's, he kind of made it. He kind of has. Strickland's been around a lot longer than you think he has in the UFC. When did he join the UFC? True. Yeah, he has. Can't stand another Strickland 5-rounder. I just think at this point, DDP would finish Costa and batter him. That's what I would predict. It would be scrappy and back and forth, but he would probably finish him. This version of Costa, that is. Sean Strickland. And also, I will say this. I think DDP's eyes getting swollen up like that is not going to happen again. I think that happens randomly. Oh, his eye is swole shut. And the fact that he still had the second, third, fourth, and fifth round that he did with his eyes swelling shut like that, I don't think it happens in round 1 at least again. Like, it could happen again, but it was just like, dude, sometimes the eye swelling and stuff, like, especially to that level, there is a bit of chance to it, you know? Like, a knuckle just lands in there perfectly and shit. What's the, how long has he been in the UFC for? Sean Strickland's been in the UFC since 2014. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22 fights in the UFC Sean Strickland's had. DDP's on his initial run, which is kind of crazy to say. But he is on his initial run. This is his run in the UFC. Joined the UFC, been winning. He's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 0 in the UFC. It's just a different momentum, I think. I think he'll finish him in round 2 or 3. Thinking training with Poatan helps. Yeah, but then you look at the Costa fight and you're like, yeah, does it? How old now? DDP is not even 30 yet. Oh, he's 30 now. And he'll be 31 soon, actually. But yeah, he's still young. But he got fucked up by Nasruddin Imavov and fucking Edmund Shabazian or whoever it was. Maybe Imavov fucked up Shabazian as well. It probably wasn't Shabazian. I think he lost to Brunson and yeah, exactly. Couldn't beat Brunson. Hey, not a lot of people could. Only DDP and Whitaker and Adesanya. Literally the top dogs. Literally the top dogs of middleweight. Or Gastelum. Hey. Only Adesanya and Whitaker. He didn't almost beat DDP. He overpowered him because DDP has some retarded wrestling exchanges at times, but he didn't almost beat him, did he? He like had him in bad position, but then DDP got out and won, you know? He almost beat him. DDP got saved. He did not get saved, dude. In hindsight, Darren Till's losses that bad? They're not. They're not that bad. But are his wins that good? You know what I'm saying? That's what it comes down to. Brunson had Mount, but what happened? Nothing. DDP's kind of the Armand Sarukian of the middleweight. I'm joking. Who cares if someone gets Mount over him, dude? Just buck out of that. Tavares was like a few significant strikes away from beating DDP in round 2 and winning the fight because of it, you know? It's actually insane when you think about the way things could have been. And then he goes out there and finishes Whitaker in a round and then not destroys, but finishes Adesanya. You know? Soldich. Dude, we all know Soldich has sourced the fuck up, and that's why he didn't take a UFC contract, though. Let's be honest with ourselves here. Dude was fucking weirdly yoked. DDP's definition of so bad but so good, it makes no sense. It doesn't make any sense, but it does at the same time. Tavares is an anomaly. He is weirdly good at times and then terrible in others. But I don't know. DDP's not the like he doesn't look good and traditional, but his hands always come back to his chin. And you see these strikers out there. Like Whitaker's such amazing striking, and then he throws a jab and his hand comes back down to his waist. You know? And it's just like, eh. You know, even Adesanya, he'll throw a shot and his chin will be way up in the air. And he can't figure out Strickland's game at all, you know? But then DDP is just out there throwing, and it looks like he's open, but he's throwing like the way he punches, his hands always come back to his chin. He's never like wide open chin up in the air anymore. His kicks are wicked, I think, especially his lead kick. He's weirdly flexible for a middleweight of his size. So I think he's underrated. Brunson walked so DDP can run, yeah. DDP was a champion kickboxer or one. Yeah, he was K1 champ in kickboxing. But the middleweight divisions in K1 are a little... Not the middleweight, but the in-between weight divisions are a bit niche and I don't know. But he did do well. I think he was like 40-0 or something as like an amateur kickboxer. 44-0 or some shit. If I'm not mistaken. I might go DDP over Hamzat. I just mentioned it in a video, you know. Junior champ. Yeah, it wasn't like a legitimate thing, but he was an amateur champ or some shit. But I could go Chimaev. I'm just not decided yet, like I am with Arman Sarukian. DDP has a weird style because his upper body and lower body endurance cause him to throw strikes with lots of upper body. Yeah. Yeah, he's weird. He's built weird. Not as big as me though, guys.